Hello wrestling fans, the Wrestling Wizard here, and welcome to Wizard Watch, the weekly show where we look at the top moments from this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. Now, as always, it's very much appreciated if you could like the video, share the video, and even better, subscribe if you're new. So let's get stuck in.
Pull up your pants and do the Muscle Man dance. Muscle Man Bray Wyatt was back on Raw, even if it was in a slightly tweaked, re-edited version of that awesome segment from a couple of years ago. It worked perfectly in the Bobby Lashley segment. And what I mean by that was Bobby Lashley was on Raw, he beat Elias pretty convincingly, nailed in the Hurt Lock, and then cut this short, sharp and sweet promo saying that if Bray Wyatt used his name again, that he would hurt him. And then he walked away down the ramp. He thought that was the end of that. And then out of nowhere, we got the Muscle Man segment, obviously adapted to Bobby Lashley, making fun of the fact that Bobby Lashley is essentially a bodybuilder. He's a muscle guy. Therefore, Bray Wyatt breaks out the Muscle Man dance. Love seeing the Funhouse puppets in there. Again, Rambling Rabbit DJing. Of course, seeing Abby the Witch make a cameo in there and Huskers boogieing away. That was pretty cool. They slightly altered the past segment, obviously putting Bobby in there, and then of course in the background, instead of the Fiend at the Erase Your Mind part, you got Uncle Howdy, which kind of makes sense because this is a new storyline. But one thing that really stood out to me was at the end, the Bray Wyatt logo didn't really have the standout red circle in the logo, which makes me believe that things have come full circle now. Remember what Bray said many months ago? I'm just a servant now, I go where the circle takes me. What if he's completed that circle and ended up where he started, and the Fiend has been unleashed? But if you think about it, if Bray Wyatt is going to face someone of the caliber of Bobby Lashley, like it wasn't that long ago that Bobby Lashley was a WWE champion, then he's going to want to bring out his ace card, isn't he? Is his ace card the Fiend? We'll have to wait and see. Next up, in what was surely shock of the night, we saw Team Backstream beat Damage Control to become the new women's tag champs. I mean, what the heck? It was great, of course, to see a returning Trish Stratus help Becky and Lita to win the tag titles. But I'm also a little bit torn because Damage Control, Io Sky, Dakota Kai, they're a legitimate tag team. And to have a 47-year-old Lita and Becky go over those two, I'm still a bit split with this. But on the other hand, of course, we know how important Lita and Trish were to the women's division, and arguably if it weren't for them, there would be no women's division. I mean, just the fact that at 47 she can hit the Lita Salt the way she does, kudos to her. Like, I know she's not as brushed and polished as the younger talent on the roster at the moment, but the fact that she's like kind of back getting a feel-good moment, the fans loved it. I'm all on side with that. I'm curious as to what's next and whether they've changed their path with WrestleMania, and maybe we're going to get Lita and Becky versus Ronda and Shayna Baszler at WrestleMania, potentially. We got another massive piece of news. It was confirmed that The Miz will be the host of WrestleMania. It makes a lot of sense. It's a smart move from WWE. But I also feel like LA Knight would make a really cool host. Like, certainly put his brushed and polished and veteran-like mic skills to the test too there. But this wasn't the end in the segment. Of course, Seth Rollins came out, stole the Miz's phone and called none other than Logan Paul, wound him up about Jake Paul, and basically now those two are gonna meet head to head on Raw next week, and I'm all up for it. I love the way Seth Rollins ended with the line, "Bye bye." Also, we got another massive piece of information because it's been confirmed that Brock Lesnar will be taking on Omos on the grandest stage of them all. It's official. And this is all after, of course, Brock Lesnar F5'd the living daylights out of MVP. I do hope this match goes longer than 10 seconds. I'm sure it will. We also got treated to a pretty cool tag team match between the Street Profits and Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa. It was really, really weird to see Jimmy in a tag match without his brother Jay, and the Street Profits definitely made fun of the fact that Jay wasn't there. And how high, by the way, did Montez Ford's voice go when he screamed out Jay, his balls were surely up in his stomach. Like, what the heck? Like, kudos to the performance from the Street Profits as well in that match. Even though they lost the match, they are putting in the graft. Montez Ford is really coming out as a star, as is Angelo Dawkins as well. So good to see them get the spotlight. And of course, it was made even sweeter with Kevin Owens coming out and taking out Solo and Jimmy at the end of the match. Some other noteworthy mentions from the show. Of course, Cody Rhodes beat Chad Gable in what was a pretty fire match, and then announced that he will be appearing on this week's episode of SmackDown because Roman Reigns has been confirmed to be there. So we're going to get a face-to-face interaction between Cody and Roman leading into WrestleMania. Asuka beat Carmella. We had Candice LeRae beat Piper Niven, with Nikki Cross being weird with Candice LeRae. What is going on there? And then, of course, more importantly, heading into next week's Raw, we're going to see John Cena and Austin Theory have an interaction, which surely is going to be a setup for a matchup between the two of them at WrestleMania. We'll have to wait and see. Overall, this wasn't a groundbreaking show. Some big things happened, but it wasn't like show of the year. I'm going to give it a solid C+. It was okay. Thank you so much for watching the video. As always, be really appreciative if you could like the video, share the video, and even better, subscribe if you're new. We'll catch you in the next one.